The following video was uploaded to YouTube on August the 6th of 2010 by a user called Looker2, who we don't have much information on. In this particular instance though, he was educating his potential viewers on how to install mods for a video game on PC, but little did he know what was going to happen during this recording. He wasn't able to progress further than even the intro when this happened.
Hey guys, this is Looker2. I'm gonna make a modding tutorial video. So here it is. Alright. It's weird. Alright, so anyway. Oh man. Okay. There's the door.
Strangely, the light turned off on its own accord, and a lot of people said that it was likely due to an electrical issue. However, people don't take into consideration that Looker2 had to go and physically flick the light switch, meaning that something else must have physically moved it too. Furthermore, it was followed by even more disruptive activity, proving that the light event was not in isolation, meaning it could not have been a coincidence. This was definitely a spiritual scenario, and everything points towards that being the case. Matt and his son Hugo were both in bed waiting for the mother of the house to arrive home from work. Matt finished his work at roughly 8 p.m, so decided to spend his free hour with his children, although one of them was fast asleep despite such an early hour. Roughly 25 minutes passed since Matt had arrived home, and he was becoming rather frustrated that his wife still wasn't back with them. She was supposed to have finished her shift at 8:15, but that clearly wasn't the case. It was at the peak of Matt's stress that something happened which would trigger his stress levels even more. Have a look.
¿Por qué no dormís ya todavía? ¿Va a dormir? Cargoso, el otro. ¿Ya se durmió, Leandro? ¿Se durmió o no? Capaz que está durmiendo, tú estás jugando con la luz. Quédate ahí, Tobias. No vayas, Tobias, quédate ahí. Quédate ahí, no vengas. Tobias, quédate ahí, no te despiertes, ahí vengo, Tobias, quédate ahí. Ahora voy, Tobias, No te desperté todavía, quédate ahí. Ahora voy yo.
The room that his youngest child was fast asleep in started acting up, and it was almost as if there was something else in there. From the light swinging to the broomstick dropping onto the bed, this was very freaky, especially when taking into account that it occurred within a young child's bedroom. The reason that Matt was so calm throughout this was that he didn't want to disturb his son from sleeping, so tried his best to stay silent. Upon her arrival, Matt's wife was shown the video, and they are now both in contact with several experts to resolve the issue, so I wish them the best of luck. A single father had recently moved into a brand new property with his daughter, but they had no idea of its history before making the purchase. It was built in the late 1900s, and it was supposed that somebody had died inside of the basement during its construction. Upon further research, the father realized that this story was true, and considering a lot of mysterious things were happening inside of the house, he was able to piece 2 and 2 together. This location was beyond haunted, and the entity haunting it was none other than the construction worker. This is when he came to the decision to take out his camera and run an experiment with his daughter, and this is how it ended up going.
Okay, so there's been a lot of paranormal creepy stuff that's been happening in my basement because when my basement was being built, somebody died down here, and my house was built in 1982. Oh, my door just moved. Okay, it's kind of creepy. Is anybody in there? Should I go in there?
I guess, yeah. Let's look.
Nobody's in there. Behind the door. Well, this really doesn't have anything in it. Okay, maybe we should just go back out now. Okay, I think that should be it. I don't know. Whoa. Okay.
Wait a minute, I can't. Yeah, let me turn on the night.
Okay.
Wait.
Is it on? Is night vision on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. Oh my god, the chair's moving. Okay. Okay.
Fortunately, the experiment was a huge success, and all sorts of unorthodox things happened around the house. First of all, the door to the bathroom opened on its own accord, and it was evident that no visible forces were being applied to it. In between that, quite a few frightening things happened, and at the very end, they heard noises from upstairs. All of this put together made for a great video documenting their experience to post to social media, but they were nowhere near finished there. They wanted to do another test to make their viewers certain that they were actually experiencing a haunting, and this one was much more accurate. This time around, they decided that the father was going to come into the room at a random point of the day and start filming his daughter to see if they could catch the ghost in its acts once again. Making predictions, they both thought that the spirit would never show itself on camera again, and they weren't too far-fetched to say that. However, that by no means implies that they were right. Take a look.
What you doing, Catherine?
Playing a game.
Yeah, where's everybody at?
Upstairs. I've been playing, I've been hearing a whole bunch of weird stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's kind of creeping me out, so, I don't know, this game's getting really boring. Let's just turn this off. Okay. Oh my god, this is so scary, isn't it?
What was that?
Whoa. We just fell. Whoa. Did I pick it up?
I don't know. It's all by itself. The chair just moved.
Whoa. Okay. It's kind of creeping me out. Let's go this way. Oh, I just felt like I got slapped in the stomach. And chair. The door's open. Oh my god.
Did that door just open by itself?
Yeah. Let's just go into this room here. The light's not working. We're gonna need the night vision here.
Why isn't the light working?
I don't know. It's just not working.
Alright, hang on. Let's see here if I can.
Is it
Okay.
Okay, let's just start looking around and see if anything moves in here. So actually pay attention to everything. I don't even know what these are up here.
Wait, what's going on over here?
Man, holy cow.
Go look over there. Let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go.
It is arguable that the poltergeist was much more prominent in this video, as it was able to perform more acts than last time. It seemed that no matter where the father panned the camera, something out of the ordinary happened, and it was evident that the man who passed away inside of their basement was not pleased with the ghost life in the slightest. There was no need to take it out on the family living there though. If its goal was to drive them out, then it was failing, because the father was adamant on not letting the spirit get its own way with things. This is why he discontinued the experiments and stopped giving it attention entirely. For a week or so, this did the trick, and none of them witnessed anything of the paranormal sort. That was until the daughter was filming a Snapchat video for her friends. She was innocently dancing and sharing the video to a group chat full of her friends, but clearly the spirit was not fond of the idea of fun, because it closed the door. It was very lucky that the girl was able to capture this on camera, because it was a rather spontaneous event, and it was able to be uploaded onto YouTube. This saga is horrible, and if any more videos end up being uploaded, I will include it in future videos, so make sure to subscribe. Now this next video shakes things up a little bit, and might not actually have been caused by something of a paranormal nature. All I am going to say is that it sounded a little bit too real to have been a ghost. The time was 11 p.m, and Racy, a professional dancer, was recording a video to post to social media where she educated people on how to perform a certain dance. Rather than doing this for monetary gain, she did it out of pure passion, which is why many people followed her. But this time, something else overpowered her moves, and it was something much scarier.
Estuve explicando estos pasos y de pronto.
2 y 1, 2, 3. Hacemos 3 laterales. Igual mi compañera. 1.
A loud and deathly scream echoed around the apartment complex, and it was almost as if somebody had been killed. It is important to know that the place of which this occurred was known to be haunted, so this was not a standalone event, but no screams had been reported there, so if it was one of the well-known ghosts, it did something new. This is why many people believe a ghost did not cause this, and it was a real person, but I guess I am going to have to leave that one up for discussion to remain without bias. On July the 6th of 2025 at roughly 7 p.m, Kyle Anthony heard some noises in his garage that caught his attention quickly. For those of you who are new to the channel, Kyle is far from a newcomer to the paranormal, and this garage saga has been going on for quite some time. In his garage lies the entrance to his attic, which will randomly start shaking without any visible force being applied onto it. Kyle has ventured up into the attic a few times, and came across a box containing a doll with no eyes to which he believes is causing events like this to happen.
We meet again, rattling attic door. It's been a while, and I'm not going in there. Gosh dang it. I'm not going in there, y'all. I'm sick of this shit.
As I said, the attic entrance rattled really aggressively, and it was as if an angry person was causing it. But obviously, there was no person on the camera. Unlike the other occasions though, Kyle decided that he had finally had enough with this spirit and was no longer going to blindly buy into its bait and enter the attic. Every time he did this, it seemed that things became worse overnight, and he was a man who learned from his mistakes rather than repeating them. I hope that ignoring the spirit does the trick for Kyle, and all of these things stop happening to him. If you have ever watched a video on my channel before, then the likelihood is that you have heard of the most appeared YouTuber on here, the Midwest Ghost Hunter, whose real name is Ian. He does all sorts of long explorations of haunted hellholes and uploads videos of up to 2 hours documenting the experiences, and they seem to get more frightening every time. The one that I am going to expose you to shortly does not break that trend. It took place in an abandoned and hence haunted asylum that was known for being ridiculed with ghostly activity. Ian was brave to visit this place, let alone stay there for as long as he did, but we have to thank him because he was able to capture this.
Dang, it is creepy out here. Not as creepy as in there though. Not by a long shot. Hopefully this wind doesn't mess up the audio too bad. Hello, is anyone out here? Willow scouting? Are you out here working? There it is, guys. That is one creepy barn. Willows, if you're in that barn, could you come out and talk to me? Get my flashlight out here. Hello? Willows, if you're in here, could you show yourself? Are you in here? If you're in here, could you make a noise? Whoa. That came from above. What the heck is that? Willows. Is that you working up there? Are you still baling hay? Yup. Whoa. Dude, he just responded. I swear to God, I just heard a yup. Thanks for talking with me, Willows. What was it like falling from that window? What happened? Holy crap. I can hear him up there. But there's really no way I can get up there. Unless I'm freaking Spider-Man. There's no way to get up there. It literally sounds like he's just pounding away up there. Doing something. God, I wish I could see up there. I know. There's that window out here. I could look up at that. Willows, are you up there, buddy? Whoa, I just heard his voice. I heard a voice shout from up there. Did he just shout at me through the window? Willows, if you're up there, could you look out the window? No way, no way. Dude, I just saw him in there. Holy shit, dude, he just peeked out from the freaking window. Oh my God. Dude, that was so insane.
It is certainly safe to call this the most frightening clip captured and showcased on my entire channel. Not only was Ian able to get literal words out of the spirit, but it somehow became visible for a split second, proving its presence to the world. This was the definition of a haunting, and if you want to see more clips captured by Ian, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, because he is featured in practically every video that I upload. In the following video, Sam, a man who lived alone but was planning on inviting his girlfriend, was at his house relaxing. If his invitation to his girlfriend became a success, then this was meant to be one of his last 3 days of living home alone, and whilst excited for his new adventure, he was making the most of his fading peace. Sam stopped leaving the house and binge-watched television all day, maximizing the power of living alone. But one day, a spirit came to ridicule his mood. Have a watch.
What the f***? What the f***?
First of all, the spirit began to aggressively rattle the handle to the door, and even started to gently knock against it. And as I mentioned, Sam was alone in this household. Curious, he went to investigate on the other side of the door, in case someone or something had broken in. But to his dismay, there was not a soul on the other side, at least not a visible one. Shortly after noticing the absence of an intruder, chairs began to move inside of the room, and this is when the knowledge hit Sam that he truly was being haunted, and there was nothing that he could do about it. Due to his lack of power and ability to resolve the situation, Sam came to the conclusion that he was going to pretend that nothing ever happened and move on with his life. He thought that there was a slim chance that the spirit would strike again, and the odds were that it was just a one-time event where a random poltergeist felt bored. Unfortunately, this was not the case, and just 2 days after this incident, whilst he was sitting on the toilet, this video was caught on camera.
Right, so I'm just in the toilet, and as you can hear, the door's rattling. So I feel quite trapped, but I'm gonna open it and see what happens. That would help if I actually unlocked the door, wouldn't it? Was that you? That couldn't have been you.
This time the door was rattling again, and he was quite quick to take out his phone to get the incident on tape. Sam slowly opened the door to reveal to the audience that nobody was behind it, to which he found his cat, which obviously could not have caused this to happen. He walked around the corner just to be extremely sure that a human had not run away after doing the acts or something along those lines. But unsurprisingly, nobody was there, although he did hear footsteps. These footsteps sent Sam into flight mode, and he instantly ran out of the house and got into his car to visit his grandmother and explain the situation. He was advised to contact a ghost hunter, to which he did, but a minimum of 3 ghostly videos were required as proof in order for the hunter to visit. This meant that Sam had to go back in there and capture one more. Take a look.
Right, so the door's rattling again. So I'm just going to go and open it. Yeah.
What was that?
Mate, I'm not joking. What the hell was that?
What did you see?
There was something looking around the corner. Right. What the actual... What the hell? What the f... What the fuck?
This time, he invited his girlfriend around to his house for the day because he was frightened to go in alone. Call this sly all you want, but he decided to not inform her of the reason why, because he thought she would not voluntarily enter a haunted house, but regardless of it being unethical, his plan worked. Whilst at the house, Sam managed to film more door rattling, followed by the apparition of a ghost which peeked around the corner at him. After seeing it, he went to search that entire area, but guess what? Nothing was there. Elias Samael is a regular on this YouTube channel and is beyond aware that his house is haunted. Mysterious events happen within his household all the time, but he has been unsure what the cause is, hence his uploads to TikTok, seeking help and advice on his situation. The saga of clips that you are about to see all come from one of his videos, so take a look.
Seguro que yo vi algo ahí, amigos. Como una sombra. Chique. No, no puede ser eso.
In this clip, a can drops and moves much further than it would have been had the collapse been natural. Strangely, despite being a regular when it comes to experiencing these sorts of things though, Elias seemed very taken aback by this, which definitely raised my eyebrows. Perhaps he sensed something that we didn't, considering that he was at the location. Who knows? Putting his hopes to the side, Elias continued to film his house though. He knew that the only way he could possibly obtain the help that he deserved was to continue the recording and gather the evidence, which was a huge motivational factor for him, and so he did.
En el nombre de Dios. Se cayó, amigos. No tenía por qué haberse caído. Regresa de donde te saliste. Déjame en paz. Déjame en paz, espíritu. Maldito espíritu, déjame en paz. No, amigo, yo me voy a salir.
Throughout this final segment, Elias witnessed 2 cans falling without any visible force acting upon them, and then some tape unnaturally rolling along the ground. After witnessing this, he was fast to abandon his house and come back another day for more content, but he was getting less and less motivated to record every single day. Roughly 3 weeks ago, an elderly man contacted a campervan owner with an inquiry regarding renting the vehicle. After putting the van at a lower price for the man due to his old age, the deal was accepted and the old man drove it into a field in a rural area where he stayed the entire time. Despite being in such a rural place, the man still kept in touch with people such as his family and friends through his Nokia brick to make sure that they knew he was okay. But when he went a week without contacting a soul, they got worried. Police were sent to the campervan to do a checkup on him and make sure that he was alive, but to their dismay, he had passed away. This was creepy, and all but something strange happened during the police checkup that I would like you to have a look at, so watch it.
Right there. Wait, they're going up to Tom's place. So wait, you said the light wasn't off?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew that something was going on. That's a lot of cops.
Holy shit, what the hell?
Why are they looking through the window?
Oh my god, they're calling...
Yeah, they're coming out.
Are they calling something in? They're going back over. What was Tom doing?
Is there like an app you can check or something to figure out?
Oh, Jesus. Abby's okay.
Sorry.
Whilst the forces were doing their routine checkup, a ghostly apparition was spotted using the camera. Nobody noticed it on the day, but the shadow of what looked to be a young child was seen right near one of the police vehicles and spooked everybody after checking back on the video later. The real question was though, why was there a child spirit in the area in the first place? Shortly after this video, another one was released by the owner of the campervan, who was asked by the forces to remove his vehicle from the scene. Due to the power of the people commanding him to, the man and his wife walked down to investigate and clean the van, but what they found was shocking.
So what are we doing today?
Well, you probably know what the deal with the situation was here. Oh. You brought your phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Get ready. Could be a little smelly.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. What was that? Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm sorry, Oh, Jesus. Well, you're right, it is freaking musty in here. Jeez. Yeah, it's for TikTok. Whoa. Wait a minute. Oh, fuck. Jesus. Wait, did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like, I don't know, before. A long time ago.
Oh my god. I think this is where they found him. Like, I used to want to be a mortician, and morticians would have to come and probably do clear out. And he died here all alone. There's no way I can get through there. Ugh.
The camper van was in a horrible state, with dirt and rubbish everywhere, even having a dead crow falling down. Furthermore, when the girl went to the refrigerator and found a hand paint drawing, a toy started by itself, and this was very frightening. It does not take much to piece 2 and 2 together. The child who owned this art and passed away was the one we witnessed outside the camper van during the police checkup. The following video took place in the house of Jeanette, a woman who had recently gained a huge amount of care regarding her health. After visiting the doctors, they advised her to increase her activity levels in order to regain and maintain a healthy body, and she did the smart thing and listened. This involved starting a routine dance on a platform called Zumba, where she would copy the dance moves on screen. In order to prove to her doctor that she was keeping up her routine, she started to film the dances, and in one recording, she caught this.
Hi. Can I help? Friends? No, I don't remember. Please get out. Please get out of my apartment. Please go out of my apartment.
Jeanette was obviously startled by this and looked very shocked as she slowly snooked towards her mobile device to recollect it. What she saw was a man standing in her doorway, and she realized that her house had somehow been infiltrated by an unwanted man, and this piece of information upset her for obvious reasons. Once she picked up her phone, she sprinted out of the room from the man that she had never seen before, but the door opened by itself, which added a paranormal element to the break-in. You would think that having an intruder enter your house alongside a spirit would be a one-time incident for Jeanette, but you would be wrong, because not that long after, this happened. This time, an intruder entered the house again, but she failed to capture him on camera. Around a minute into the video, the bed sheets pressed themselves inwards, as if somebody was pushing them, and this was what put Jeanette over the line, making her flee for good and leaving the complex. Kyle and his wife lived together with their 2 children and were content with their lives. They had owned the house for roughly 3 years now and were pretty much done with all of the renovations that they wanted to implement, meaning that the house was perfect for them. However, there was one part of the house that they really did not like and never really thought of patching up that the video I am about to show you reminded them of. At the bottom of their home, they had a wooden door with nothing but wooden pegs keeping it closed, and this was a silly part of the house because it made it easy to break into without a key. Well, one day the realization that somebody could have made their way in hit them, and Kyle had to go and investigate.
All right, we woke up to the banging sound outside of our bedroom again. It sounded like it was coming from outside, yet again, but I think I know where it's coming from, so I'm gonna show you. Right there. I think it's coming from there. Something is banging on that. It's happened, it happened last night, it happened 2 nights ago. That's our bedroom window right there. I hope there's nothing trapped in there, a raccoon, I don't know. But it's been freaking us out, waking us up. So we're gonna take a look. Goodness gracious. I can't see very far down there. Let me see if my light helps. I can't see all the way to the end, but I don't see anything. And that goes around a corner. I don't know if I can even fit between the blocks and that pipe, but I guess we're gonna have to take a look in there. Fuck.
Something had been doing this for the past 3 days, and at first they believed some form of animal had made it inside, but the knocking was way too persistent. In the possibility that something was trapped in there and needed help, Kyle decided that it was a smart idea to go and investigate, and his wife encouraged it, but nothing was there at first. He went back inside, buckled up some courage, and went back to explore deeper.
Alright, curiosity's got the best of me. I'm gonna slide up in here. Oh gosh dang it. Bear with me. Oh shit. Oh my god. It's tighter than catfish in a sardine can around here. Y'all, I don't think I can wedge myself in between that block and that pipe. There's a hole down there. I don't know, y'all. This might have to wait for the mid-season finale. We can go this way though. Pocket cobwebs. I should have brought me something to swat these away with. Yuck. Alright, let's have a look. Fuck, creepy. Why the hell am I doing this? The things we do for fucking TikTok views, gosh dang, cobwebs, y'all. Oh my god. Oh gosh, am I gonna crawl up underneath there? Is that a hole too? Maybe that goes to the sump pump, I don't know. Do I really want to crawl down there fuck? What the What is that? No, nuh-uh. Y'all, I'm sick of finding shit in my fucking house, y'all. This.
Now, the average viewer would not be able to identify this object, and to be completely honest with you guys, I did not have the slightest of ideas at first. However, I have done my job and done some research into the object. It appears to be a piece to a Ouija board, which is a device that humans use to contact spirits, and this told Kyle one thing: there must have been a human down there, and it was evident that they had a belief in the paranormal world. He was quick to turn around and make an escape from the crawl space, not wanting to put himself at risk of any danger. If he had any survival instinct about him, then he should have called the local authorities though, but he did not. In fact, Kyle went down there again, 2 days later, despite his wife begging him to refrain from it. This is what he captured.
Alright, fine. I'm gonna go get the little box. But y'all need to understand something. Let me sit down. Y'all crawl space people are new around here. Y'all weren't here for my attic videos. I've already found creepy shit in my house. That's why I ran out of here last time. I found this box in my attic, and it had a creepy doll in it that didn't have any eyeballs. There was a journal in there that had a bunch of numbers in it, like some kind of code and creepy drawings. What else? There was just a bunch of stuff in there. It's like a bunch of cursed items or something, and weird shit's been going on in my house. I'm just fed up with this shit. But y'all want me to go get it, so we'll go get it. Let's go. And everybody's talking about my crawl space being weird. I don't know. That's the basement. Basement wall. I don't know what's going on. I didn't build it. And that's a can, I guess. I don't know. RC Cola. Royal Crown Cola. All right. Okay. That's what I was talking about. It wasn't no insulation what I was talking about. I was talking about that little thing there. It's like a little heart-shaped box. Oh, gosh dang. It's that thing. That's it right there. Can you just be empty? Can you just be empty?
This was a big plot twist in the story of Kyle, because he found that this was not a part of a Ouija box, completely disproving his theory that a real person was hiding inside of his crawl space. He picked up the object, and it was a little box that probably had a sweet and innocent use back in the day, but now turned to the horrors of the paranormal realm. Kyle opened the box out of pure curiosity, and what he revealed was shocking. It was a pair of eyes, and if you connect the puzzle pieces together, this discovery completely shifts the tide of this story. In the past, Kyle discovered a doll with missing eyes in his attic, and these eyes that he found in the basement perfectly aligned with those of the doll. It was clear that they both belonged to each other. Back when Kyle discovered the doll in his attic, he disposed of it immediately because he believed that it was causing all of the negative energy in his house. So it was weird that he was still hearing knocking sounds and things of the sort. Trust me though, everything adds up after you watch this one final clip. Have a watch.
It's happening again. I can hear it again. I know. I'll be right back. It's happening again. I can hear it. Do y'all hear it too? Is it coming from the floor? Where's it coming? I can't tell where it's coming from. I can't tell where it's coming from. Well, we thought we were going to bed, but that just happened. So we both decided to come out here on the gazebo and sit here for a little bit. I don't think we're going to get a lot of sleep tonight. Y'all heard that, right? I haven't even gone back and watched the video yet, so I hope you can hear it. But I'm going to post it. I'm just going to go ahead and post it here in a second.
Both Kyle and his wife heard the knocking sounds once again, and it was hard to not believe that a real thing was down there. The common theory that most of the audience came to believe is that the doll of which the eyes belonged to found its way back to the house and used the wooden peg entrance as a way to break in. It now resided underneath their family home and caused as much disruption as it possibly could as revenge for its harsh treatment. In the following video, a daughter and her mother were both in their sitting room having some coffee and watching television when an unexpected guest decided to show up. The duo had been planning this catch-up for a long time now, as the mother was becoming elderly and her daughter lived quite far away, so it was rare that they were able to see each other. There was no better way to utilize a day off work than to tend to her mother for the daughter who was named Ilana. Roughly half an hour into the conversation, though, something happened that none of them would have ever expected, and it put them both into a state of utter shock. I am about to expose you to the clip, but before I do, did you know that you can have your clips featured in my future videos? All you have to do is email hauntertvofficial@gmail.com and be sure to attach the clips that you want me to include. Furthermore, you must offer a brief description of what happened and why it happened, so that I can craft an accurate story surrounding it. With that said, here is the frightening clip that Ilana caught on her phone.
Still happening over there. I think he's getting the headphones. I think he's getting the fucking headphones. What's happening over there, George? George! George! Oh my god! George, what's going on? What's going on?
Strangely, the headphones in the top drawer started to make subtle movements, and Ilana's mother was the first to notice it. She pointed it out to her daughter, who thought she was seeing things at first, but then things became even more wild. The headphones catapulted themselves off from the drawer onto the floor and creeped up on the duo, who entered freeze mode rather than flight. Shortly after, they came to a standstill and peace was restored in the household, but this is something that none of them will ever forget. On May the 16th of 2025, so very recently, a video was uploaded to TikTok that went viral, and for the right reasons. It was a video regarding paranormal activity, and a man called William believed that he had managed to catch a poltergeist in action on camera, and so he uploaded the footage to TikTok. It is important to note that his apartment has been haunted for roughly 2 weeks now, so this was not a one-time experience. Furthermore, he was in the house by himself because his son was at school, and he was 100% certain of this, so anything that could be depicted as a real human being was not a real human. With that said, enjoy the clip.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Yeah, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay. I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. That's enough for today.
From the tap coming onto certain objects making slight movements, this was very unsettling for William, but nothing amassed to the fear scale of the main event in this video. A shadow figure was caught in the reflection of the refrigerator, and it slowly moved until it was out of sight. William was in hot pursuit and entered the room that this happened in, but to his dismay, there was nobody there. This confirmed that what he witnessed was a ghostly apparition, and the thought alone of this possibility terrified him. Sam and his brother were both in Sam's room because he claimed something far beyond belief. He went to his brother and explained that his drawers were continuously opening without any human interaction, and that it wasn't just one of them, it was random ones at random intervals. Despite not believing him, his brother gave him the solution of recording the drawers until it next happened and informing their parents about the situation so that they could try and figure out what it was, and he took up his advice. Sam didn't only show it to his parents though, he uploaded it to YouTube, and that is how I managed to get my hands on it. Take a look.
Something's wrong with my dresser. Just keep looking. Like, it's crazy. Just keep looking. There's no strain on nothing to it. Something crazy keep on going on, and there's like, people might not believe, but there's a demon in the house. Like, we got a demon apartment, so we gonna keep on looking. See, look, like, look at this. There you have to see that. Like, that's crazy, dude. Like, there's no shrinking on nothing to it. It's a demon. Like, this is crazy. Yo, I gotta tell my parents, so I'm gonna stop the video. Thank you for watching.
Fortunately, things went exactly how Sam wanted them to, and the ghost did its thing. The drawer opened itself in a really unnatural way, and he sent it to the family group chat. However, his parents did not buy into the fact that it was a spirit nearly as easily. They refused and said the drawer was just loose and slanted, hence why it continued to move, and did not believe him. Sam was forced to live with the situation and still believes it was a ghost to this very day. The following video was filmed by Ian, also referred to as the Midwest Ghost Hunter. He is a pretty large YouTuber who has one goal from all of his videos: capture as many paranormal creatures as humanly possible. In this very long vlog, he decided to visit an abandoned and haunted asylum, where it was said that the patients were treated in a disappropriate manner, hence why they stuck around to haunt the place. We have had several videos, including clips from this adventure before, and they get more and more spooky each time, so take a look.
Okay, so I'm in the men's ward. I've got a thermal camera here. I'm gonna snap photos with this thing. See if I can get any cold spots. Are there any patients in any of these rooms? Just coming by to visit. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There is a giant cold spot in this room. Whoa, dude. Look at that. Oh, wait, never mind. Actually, I think it's the window. I mean, it would make sense. It's a lot colder out there than it is in here. Whew, false alarm. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I want. But I can't help but freak out when stuff like that starts happening. Is there anybody in here? Oh, weird. There's like a cold spot. Like a second one. Like there's the window. But then there's one next to it. And it's positioned right on this bed. Is there someone standing right here? If there's someone standing here, could you rattle that bed frame to let me know? It's not there anymore. Completely vanished. There was definitely something here, and there's no AC or vents or nothing. So I'm not sure how you would explain that. Is there anybody down this hallway? Hello? Oh God. That sounded like a breathy male voice just now. Where are you? I can hear you. Could you peek out of your room? Whoa, whoa. I'm getting another cold spot. It's standing right there. Right in that doorway. Oh gosh. And it's gone. Hello? Oh man. I could hear you, sir. What's your name? Oh my God. He is in this room right now. I hope you don't mind me coming in. If you're in here, make a noise. Holy crap. What the hell was that now? I'm not getting any more cold spots. But I'm definitely hearing stuff in here.
Ian was using some form of thermal device to detect the presence of spirits, and it worked by finding areas that were absurdly cold compared to others. This is a telltale sign of a paranormal presence, and definitely proved right, based on the findings shortly after. The spirit made sounds to indicate it was in the room to Ian, and he was fortunate to have captured this on camera for his YouTube channel. Speaking of YouTube channels, make sure to subscribe to mine, as there will be many more clips from this specific adventure conducted by Ian. Furthermore, remember to send over your paranormal clips for a feature in a future video. All you need to do is attach your clips to the email currently on screen alongside a brief description of what and why it happened. Kamran was a recurring victim of paranormal activity, and it was quite peculiar how consistent the ghost that haunted him actually was. Every single night without fail, it would cause strange things to happen within Kamran's one-bedroom apartment around 3 a.m., and it was no different when Kamran decided to catch it on camera. He set an alarm for 3 in the morning, praying that it would wake him up, and thankfully, I did, because he was able to catch this on camera.
Sale con tu madre.
First of all, the door slowly creaked open, as if there was somebody behind it. The suspense was generated from the fact that it was opening extraordinarily slowly, almost as if it was going to reveal something behind it. Surprisingly, it didn't, and Cameron was quick to get to his feet and investigate the doorway. This is when his shower turned on without any human interaction, and he was forced to manually power it back off. Cameron went back to his bed after this act, proud of himself for gathering some evidence to show to those that would refuse to believe his story. However, he was not able to doze off and was soon woken up again. He rolled out of bed for a second time and took his camera to the bathroom, which is where he found this.
Mierda.
The shower had activated itself again, and Cameron was not going to waste his time turning it off again. He felt a wave of bad energy overcome him whilst he was inside of the bathroom, and knew that he needed to make his way out of the house for a rest from the hauntings. He walked out, got inside of his car, and drove off to his grandma's. He would not return for 2 days, and magically, since this short departure, he has not been haunted since. A very strange switch in events. In the following video, Jesus Angel Garcia had been enjoying his Tuesday evening when he was woken up by some mysterious and unidentifiable sounds coming from his kitchen. Reluctantly, but knowing that he had to, he got himself out of bed, picked up a sharp object, and went downstairs to tackle whatever stood in his way. But it was by no means what he would have expected. In his mind, he thought that it was either a burglar, a squatter, or some form of animal that needed to leave. Little did he know that the thing down there was not even visible to the human eye. Have a watch. He kept hearing sounds around him, and that paired alongside the fact there was a cold feeling inside the house told him that there was a presence there. Jesus walked around carefully, listening for any sign of where the supposed spirit was causing mayhem, and throughout the clip, we saw a few objects make movements. Jesus has begun the process of finding and contacting a ghost hunter to sort this situation out for him, and all that we can do is wish him the best of luck from afar. If you were to find out your house was haunted right this second, what would you do? The chances are you would contact somebody who is an expert on the matter through social media, such as a ghost hunter. Well, that is what I would do anyway. However, the man who filmed the next video did something completely different, and it made things far worse for him. Instead of reaching out to a professional, he decided to send a Snapchat message to the lads' group chat and invite them down to come and quote-unquote sort out the spirit. Only one of them ended up having the bravery and courage to come with him, and he went as far as bringing a gun in case something terrible happened. This is how it went.
Somos investigadores de lo paranormal, capítulo 2.
Así es.
Volvemos a entrar a la casa embrujada.
Así es.
Vamos.
Vamos. ¿Quién va primero, tú o yo?
No sé, espera, con cuidado. Veremos si otra vez aparece ese fantasma en el baño.
Veamos.
¿Ya?
Ya.
Veremos. Con cuidado.
Después. ¿Escuchaste?
Sí.
Dale, muerte eso.
A ver, acá.
Mira, ¿qué es eso?
¿No? Se está moviendo solo.
Así es.
Vamos.
Vamos.
Ya. Vamos. Vamos, vamos. Fantasma, ¿estás ahí? Mira.
Ay.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Tranquilo, tranquilo.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
¿Hay alguien aquí?
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Responde. No se acerque tanto.
Ahí.
Si estás aquí, manifiéstate.
Así.
¡Oh! Cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
Tranquilo, no, aléjate.
Aléjate, aléjate, aléjate.
Está bien, está bien. Está bien, está bien. Tranquilo, cuidado.
Esta vez no te tengo miedo.
A ver, jefe.
Fuimos testigos de un evento paranormal.
Sí.
En esta casa embrujada. Aparece.
Aparece.
¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Ya mejor.
Escuché un ruido.
Yo creo que es hora de irnos. Parece que se molestó con nuestra presencia.
A ver, nos nombramos para allá.
Es increíble.
A ver, ven, jefe.
Se molestó con nuestra presencia. Es hora de irnos mejor.
Bueno.
¡Nos vamos!
Así es, nos vamos. Ese robo, cuidado, aquí está empujado.
Sí. Es hora de irnos.
Así es.
Bueno, ha finalizado el capítulo y nuevamente se manifestó el fantasma. Esto fue
Investigadores paranormales.
capítulo 2.
After some searching that took quite a lot of time, the duo managed to find themselves a monkey sitting on top of some sort of canister. This looked intimidating for obvious reasons, but with a gun in hand, nothing was enough to frighten the friend that came along. Well, most things anyway. Once the monkey fell to the ground, both men were in shock and were tempted to leave the house, but were fortunately able to pull through. Ever since this incident, the paranormal activity in the house has doubled, and the owner has seriously considered reaching out to a ghost hunter, despite them being on the expensive side of solutions. In a suburban area in the outskirts of the capital of Chile lies a house that has not been occupied for years. All of the locals know exactly why this place hasn't hosted any residents for such a long period of time, but nobody else really knows. You're going to be one of the lucky ones with that information. A distant time ago, a family of 3 were killed by a gang due to their relative being tied up in that sort of stuff. Ever since then, it has been said that the house is very haunted, and there are many clips that prove this statement, with the one that I am about to expose you to being a primary example. All sorts of paranormal stuff happened within this short time span, and to call it a wave of paranormal activity would be an understatement. It was a tsunami. From self-moving doors to items falling off from counters, this house had everything, and anyone who doubts its status as one of the most haunted locations that Chile has to offer must be silly after seeing this. Where mass killings happen, mass hauntings follow. The following video occurred in a hotel in Spain, and a friend group had been planning this trip for a long period of time. For the past few months, the lads' group chat had been popping with ideas for a lads' holiday to this beautiful country, and none of them actually believed that it would become a reality. A few job applications later though, and they finally set the trip in stone. The clip that you are about to see took place inside of an elevator, and a few of the lads were on their way to the bar, hence why they needed to go to the ground floor. Little did they know that this would happen.
Alright, so it's been doing this for a minute, and there's nothing out there. Are we too heavy? You're too heavy. Ah, yeah, Sergio, ascensor. Man, you need to hit that gym. 1588 kilograms. What's going on? You wanna figure it out?
Yeah.
Alright, no, that did something,
No. Dude, I don't know.
What is going on?
Are we too heavy? Is there someone there? What the?
Despite this being creepy, regardless of what caused the incident, there is room for discussion on what made this happen. The elevator could easily have just been malfunctioning and unable to move. The thing that made this incident particularly scary for the lads inside the elevator, though, was the fact that after reporting the incident to staff, they heard that this was a common incident and happened to everybody. But the people who came to repair it found nothing wrong. This incident frightened all 3 of the lads into going back to their rooms, but this would not stop them trying again a few days later, and once again, they found themselves in the elevator.
Yo, so this elevator is acting mad weird. We started a few floors up, and...
Strangely, the elevator stopped working midway through its journey, and I bet you can't guess what floor it happened on. The exact same floor where the previous incident took place. Terrifying stuff. It happens to be a fact that when this happened though, there were power outages all across Portugal and Spain, so this could have been a cause. Once again, there was a logical reason behind the incident, so the hotel staff couldn't really take any serious action. All three of the lads knew that something was up with this elevator though, as it gave each of them the same sinking feeling whenever they went inside of it. There is a question commonly asked among humanity though. Why do women live longer than men do? Well, the answer is simple. Men go back into elevators that have only caused them harm. Yep, they went back the next day regardless of everything. Have a look.
There you go, I got you. Oh. Oh, he's cooking something.
What are you doing?
Yep. Yep.
I gotta pee.
Oh, you gotta pee.
It's making my bladder.
It's making his bladder.
I gotta pee.
You gotta pee.
I feel like a rapper. Go. I gotta pee.
Okay.
I'm holding my bladder.
Yep.
I gotta pee. I don't know what else is going on. I gotta pee. It's making me mad. God, like so. I gotta pee. I'm angry like Bowser.
Guys, this is probably the worst thing anyone's ever done.
This time the exact same thing happened, and the elevator began to malfunction. This time though, they had some fun with it, dancing and singing to keep the morale high. This mystery will always be a strange one that I doubt will ever be backed up with answers, but all three people involved are certain that this was the act of a poltergeist, and I must say, I do agree with them. Gee. Elias was an innocent child with a loving family and had never really gotten himself into trouble. He and his close friends had a small group chat where they would send videos back and forth to each other to keep updated on their lives, and Elias decided to take one of all of the ladybugs that had somehow made it into his room. For some reason, there were 3 of them all on the same wall, and he had to show his friends, but little did he know what was about to occur in this recording.
Show you all the ladybugs I have currently crawling on my wall. There's 1, 2, and 3. I really have no idea where they all came from. It's so annoying. Look at this little dude. Oh, what the oh my god. What the fuck?
Out of the blue, a large bang happened behind him, and he turned around to see some items on the floor that should not have been there. This was followed by a toy launching itself off from the cupboard shortly after he turned around, and this frightened Elias. He ran out of his room before uploading the video to YouTube and sending it to his friends. They were in just as much disbelief as he was. The following video took place during a high-stress situation, and it is safe to say that the people who caused it were rather silly. You see, Pete was at work doing what he had to be doing to live, when all of a sudden he received a phone call from his neighbors telling him that the light was flickering aggressively. Why they informed him of a potential break-in rather than the police is beyond me, but Pete quickly got into his vehicle and drove home. With a high sense of urgency, he unlocked the door to uncover whatever was causing the light to flicker on the inside, and this is what went on from that point and forwards.
Work, and my neighbors called, and they said that my light is flickering in my apartment. So, let's go look. Nobody should be in here right now. Bro, why is my pot? Why is that on? Why was that damn door? That door was not shut. I don't. Who are you? What do you want? I'm out.
Straight after entering the property, the flickering came to a sudden stop and nobody was seen inside. The first thing that Pete realized was that the stove was on and he was certain that he had not left it that way. Otherwise, there definitely would have been a fire, so it must have only activated recently. Fortunately, he reached it in time to turn it off without a fire hazard, but this poltergeist was definitely close to causing far more damage than it likely intended. Stephen was quite the alcoholic when it came to English football matches, and his favorite type of beer was a Stella, by far. Every weekend, he would sit in front of the television and live a sedentary lifestyle, watching players run around and kick a ball whilst he was sitting on his large sofa and getting himself drunk. One day when an important match was happening, Stephen had a few more cans and got even more drunk than usual, and something happened that he initially believed was a figment of his drunk imagination. However, after looking back at the footage, he is now fully aware that this was not the case.
I think he's a bit camera shy himself. No, he still on the move. He just don't know where he wants to go, really.
I'll put some candles here. Come to us.
You're still going.
Come on, come on, come on.
Stephen's can of Stella somehow started to creep across the room as if it had a life of its own, and at the time, he was not frightened by this. He thought that his mind was playing games with him, but he was horrified after opening his camera roll the next morning, even posting the footage online. Since this day, he has never witnessed anything similar again, and shows the video to everyone. It's his claim to fame, if you will. Becoming a grandmother is a huge part of somebody's life, and the grandma in the video that you are about to watch was making the most out of it. She was invited to babysit the children every couple of weeks, and whenever she came over, she made sure that she gave them the most fun day of their week. This time, she purchased some Play-Doh for them and went as far as buying a machine that let them shape the Play-Doh into all sorts of unique shapes. This was supposed to be an amazing toy, and she was sure that the eldest child would love it, but unfortunately, she was proven wrong in a way that nobody could have possibly predicted.
What are you doing, August? Playing with Play-Doh?
The toy moved on its own accord and freaked out the child evidently. The grandmother had purchased it from a normal retail store, so it made no sense as to why it would be haunted. She must have genuinely just gotten unlucky, as most victims of poltergeists do. The man who filmed the following series was known as the Killer Pigeon online, but his real name was Sam. He was watching some YouTube on his PC when he realized he could use his mobile camera as a PC webcam and decided to hook it up and test it out. This was revolutionary to him because he was planning on purchasing a webcam for his piece in order to record YouTube videos, but if his phone could do the trick, he would no longer need to save up for one because they are on the expensive side of things. The video you are about to see is a snapshot from his test, but something very peculiar happened. Have a watch.
I'm literally freaking shaking right now. I'm just so freaking scared. I just got finished checking my whole apartment. I just found out, oh my god, I just found out you can connect your camera to your computer that doesn't have a webcam, and you can use your phone as a camera. Okay, so I was on the photo booth app. I was just like, okay, let me play around with it. I haven't used this in forever. And oh my god, I'm so I was taking the photos, whatever, and I was looking back at them and I saw that there's this black line, and it's because my cabinet opened a little bit, and I went to the next one, and I don't even know why this is like lit up back here. You know, this is like the thermal photo thing, and it's like lit up. So I kept going to the next one, and I swear I freaked out because one, I don't know how it opened, but two, I swear that's like a face right there. Like it's literally like I don't understand like what that could be. Like it's literally a face, and I'm like I'm freaking out right now. And the next one, like the computer started glitching, so it took, I don't know what this is, and then I took a photo. When I realized, it just like snapped a photo automatically. But I swear that's, and I've already checked. I checked my whole apartment, and this, I thought maybe it was up this, because this is black up here, but it was on the second shelf. Like it was not up, it was right here, and there's nothing that looks anything remotely like that. Like it's so, I don't understand. I don't know if I'm overreacting, or I don't know what to do. Like I swear that's a face.
Slowly, Sam realized that the cabinet behind him had slowly opened whilst he was taking the photos, and this should not have happened, considering it had never done this before. Furthermore, an uncanny face was spotted within the crack of the doorway, staring deep into the camera, and after investigating the cabinet, it was evident that nothing within it looked remotely like the face. In order to gather some second opinions, Sam posted the video to social media, which is how I got a hold of it, and the reception was pretty similar to how he reacted. People believed that this must have been some form of poltergeist or paranormal entity, and that it looked nothing like anything in the cabinet. So now it was just a matter of how Sam approached things. He reached out to several ghost hunters, but he found none who would do the job without further evidence, so he resorted to complying with them. He needed to stay in the house for longer and gain more videos, so he did, and one night he was successful.
I was just filming, and all of a sudden I see like the clothes just move in my closet, and every time they would turn on, I'd see them move a little bit more, and then I heard something just fall, so I immediately stopped recording and I got up. But essentially it was just a hanger. Like looking back at the video now, I can see the hanger literally just fly off the pole. And lights here, and this is the hanger that fell, and this is the clothes that were shaking, and there's no way, like there's no space for anything, there's nothing, and I just don't know how that happened. And like for the hanger to like fly out, like they're obviously hooked. You guys use hangers, so I don't know. That was very strange and weird. And once I got up and checked everything, everything seemed to go back to normal. Did I go back to sleep? Absolutely not, but yeah, there we go. Another thing caught on camera. But yeah, we'll see how today goes.
Out of nowhere, the light in the closet began to flicker on and off uncontrollably, and as he clearly demonstrated, movement was a requirement for this to occur. As he desperately took out his phone and filmed the incident though, it became even more severe. The clothing inside of the closet started to shake aggressively, and the next day when Sam gave us a tour of the closet, it was extremely clear that there was no way anybody or anything could have fit inside of there to fake the video. Now so far, both of the clips that Sam had captured were from afar, and he had never plucked up the courage to get close to the action. In this final clip though, that changed, and he actually went to investigate what was going on. The tap for his bathtub continued to turn itself on and off at random intervals, so Sam decided that he was going to investigate the scene, and this is what he came across.
Okay, so it's 3 o'clock in the morning again right now. The water in my tub is turning on and off and on and off. It's been going on for a few minutes. I'm gonna go see what's going on. shit. Oh, my shot glasses. Oh, this.
After turning off the tap and finally hearing silence, the cupboard started to vigorously shake, followed by one of his shot glasses collapsing to the ground and smashing. The only positive outcome of this is that he finally had enough evidence to get a ghost hunter down to the house, and they are scheduled to come within a week. We will update you on this channel if the cleansing works, or if it does not, so subscribe so you do not miss it. Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, has become a regular on this channel over the last few months and appears in almost every single video. This is because he is by far the most consistent ghost hunter, posting new content all of the time to make sure that he keeps both his viewers and himself busy. The following video took place in a haunted manor and shows his experience with a deranged patient who was known for chasing the nurses who worked in the manor all around it, eventually being locked inside of a room until death, which is why he haunts the location. This was the interaction.
Hard to breathe in here. I really don't like this feeling. I can feel your presence, but I'm not afraid. So if you charge at me, just know I'm not gonna run. There's his room. At least they think it's his room. Room 2. That's where that deranged patient used to chase nurses. And that's why they think that that might be him. Coming up to your room, okay? Don't be alarmed. Ooh, what is that? What is that? I keep hearing like movement in there. I can hear you in there. Come on out. Oh my god. That door just partially opened. Oh. Oh, come on, Ian. Just go up to it. Hello? Who's in here? This room's locked. I can't even go in there. Why would they lock it? To keep him in there? Maybe I can look through the crack. The crack of the door. Hello? Anyone in here? That just sounded like a breath. That just sounded like a breath. Oh God. Oh, oh my God. Oh, fuck. Ah, that fucking hurt. Oh, God. Oh, God. Get me out of here. Oh, I felt something slam that door on me. Holy shit. I don't know how much more this is gonna... It's coming after me. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm out of here. I'm done for the night. I can't take this. I can't take it.
It was clear that the patient was not content and was very agitated that it was bound to one room. It opened and closed the door, even breathing down the crack once, but that was nowhere near the worst part. the shadow of the spirit seemed to have escaped the room and darted at poor Ian on the other side of the door. This was more than enough to frighten him away from the location for due course. I have no doubt that Ian will be featured in a Haunter video exploring this hellhole again though. The following video was recorded by Anthony and his best friend Tyler, and they were both really into wildlife. One day they decided that they were going to open up a YouTube channel that explored wildlife and began a series on squirrels where they would find them in the wild and comment on why they do certain things. They were both very passionate about the topic until one day, whilst recording an episode, something very odd happened.
Hello guys, we're making another video for randomness. We've taken about 8, but none turned out good.
They've all been about squirrels.
And this one's about squirrels too. We're trying to find squirrels.
Did you hear that?
What was that? Alex, what was that?
I don't know.
No, really.
I seriously don't know. Oh shit. Dude, the chair fell over.
What are you doing?
I didn't do anything. There's nothing.
Hey.
I ain't saw it.
Wait, but who did it?
I don't know what it or who. Check the basement.
Wait, wasn't this up?
Oh, crap. Dude, there's some weird things going on in my house, dude.
Wait, but, who did it?
I don't know. Oh, shit.
What? Dude.
That was creepy as...
Oh my god.
Dude. Oh, dude.
Oh, shit.
Out of the blue, a bang was heard from downstairs, and Anthony and Tyler instantly went down to investigate. They had no clue what the noise could have been, but checked nonetheless in case of potential threats such as burglary. They were strong boys, so were confident in the case of a person in being in the house, but this was not what caused the sound. Some items were misplaced across the household, and eventually, the duo ended up in the basement. This is when they saw an item move, without any visible force interacting with it, and it was confirmed to them that what they were experiencing came under paranormal activity. Gaming is a leisure activity that people tend to tap into when they want to take a break from the stressful and real world. Wyatt was a big gamer, and whenever he finished his work and had nothing else to do, he would log into his personal computer and boot up all sorts of things. In the clip that you are about to watch, he decided to play Only Up, which is a well-known video game for making people very frustrated. Little did Wyatt know that the game would not be the thing that tipped him over the edge.
Something is watching me. If you've had the feeling, you know what I'm talking about. I'm playing Only Up in my office. Something keeps passing by this window. I've just propped up the phone here and I'm gonna play. If you're walking by my office, I want you to knock it off. Holy. Is that you making all that noise back there? This thing's always closing doors. You need to get out. Dude. Will you knock it off, please? You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna...
Strangely, a shadow figure continuously glided past his window, and it was in a way that could be described as the opposite of human-like. Being the brave man he was, he decided to go and investigate in an attempt to find evidence that this was not a person, and what Wyatt witnessed next was terrifying. All sorts of items were launched across the room, and the shadow person was seen again closing itself inside of a room. Wyatt failed to provide any extra information after this clip, so all we can do is hope that he is now okay, but if he does end up posting any more clips, you will see them here, so subscribe to my channel. Jack loved being home alone because it meant that he could do literally anything that he wanted. His parents were both ridiculously strict with measures such as a set bedtime, screen time limits, and specific times in the day that he had to study, and he hated this lack of freedom with his own life, especially at the age of 17. One day, when his parents left the house for the weekend to go on holiday for their anniversary, Jack was sitting in his room, thinking of things that he could do whilst they were away from home. But before his mind had any time to conjure up some ideas, he supposedly saw an entity in the corner of his room. There was no proof or evidence to support this claim, so he came to the conclusion that he was going to try and lure the spirit into showing itself on camera, or at least giving hints that it existed. Did it work, or did it not? Well, you will have to watch the full clip to discover the answer for yourself. Before I show you the video though, did you know that you can have your paranormal clips included in a Haunter video? All you have to do is email your clips to hauntertofficial@gmail.com, followed by a short description of what happened and some backstory behind it. There is a 100% chance that your clip will be included in an upcoming video if you send it over, so give it a go. Anyway, here is what Jack experienced.
For the first time, I'm so thrilled and scared at the same time. My mind's going crazy. So I brought out the camera and I decided to see if I could catch anything. But first, people told me that I should write down questions on a paper. Friends who've had similar experiences. So that's exactly what I did. Who are you? And what do you want? So, it's exactly what I don't remember that being there. I don't remember that being there at all. Oh! 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 Well, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Okay, Spirit. That was really good. I'm gonna call you out. Do something more. Do something else. I'm calling you out. Whoa! Oh. Whoa. Spirit, let me come in. Oh! Oh. Oh. Holy crap. You going to let me in this time? Are you? Oh! 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 Apparently the spirit doesn't want me to come in. Oh. Guess that's it then. Oh. Oh. Maybe he doesn't want me to come in. Oh, I'm freaking out right now, man. I'm freaking out, man. Oh! Hello? Are any spirits here right now? Are any spirits here? Can any spirits communicate with me right now? So, right over here is where I saw the entity. I just came into my bedroom and he was standing there. He was probably up to, like, right over there. It's really tall. So, Spirit, can you do anything for me right now? Oh! 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 Whoa! 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 Oh! Oh! I have the TV on in case you guys hear it. I'm home alone, guys. Remember that. I'm home alone. What is that? It's a doll! It's a doll! Oh, it's a doll. I'm terrified of dolls. I'm terrified of dolls. Terrified. The doll wasn't here before. Stare into your soul. Let's see if they wrote anything. Get out.
It is impossible to list off every single paranormal event that happened inside of this clip, but to call it a wave in paranormal activity would be an understatement. It was a tsunami. From moving objects to doors opening on their own accord, I don't think anybody on this planet would have left this situation unfazed, and Jack was certainly frightened. He left the house for the weekend and went to his grandma's, which he was scolded for by his parents. But after showing them the video, he did not blame them. He did not crave being home alone ever again. Ghost hunters are a common job mentioned on this channel, and they are some of the bravest people on our planet. These guys willingly enter locations that are known to be haunted and do all sorts of experiments and tests inside of the institutions. The set of clips that you are about to be exposed to come from a ghost hunter called Ryan, and his findings always end up being shocking. They were found in a house where the owners were certain was haunted by a little girl, and they paid Ryan thousands to come and resolve the issue for. Have a watch.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want with me? Come on, answer! What do you want with me? Not gonna answer me. What do you want? So, as you can see here, this is pretty much up against the wall. Nothing can really fit behind there. Windows are screened. There's no holes in the wall or anything like that. These are just standard stuffed animals. There's no puppets or anything like that. Just standard stuffed animals. And you can see there's no electronic interference, noise, or anything like that, because the poltergeist entity, whatever you want to call it, is not here at the moment in this room that I'm aware of.
Strangely, the two stuffed animals were moving as if there was a person behind them, controlling their movements, and it was evident that there was not another human there. Furthermore, Ryan explored both of the stuffed animals and discovered that none of them had any items or strings attached that could have interfered with them, which made absolutely no sense. This was his first sign of paranormal activity within 5 minutes of entering the household, but there are a lot more to come, like this, for example.
That was opening before. Much better look. See, there's no room for anyone to be hiding or anything in here. There's no holes in any walls. One of the questions I get asked a lot about is why you don't see my family in any of the videos, and that's simply because I value my privacy. And I'll share what I want to share. I don't need to share footage of my family. So that's just, again, another look at the cabinet. There's no activity on it at the moment. There's nothing next to it.
This time, Ryan was in the kitchen, and when he came face to face with the pantry, it started to go crazy, and I mean crazy. The door was rattling really quickly, and an annoying squeaky sound was echoing around it, so Ryan knew that he had to take a closer look. Unsurprisingly, the result ended the same as last time, and there was absolutely nothing inside or outside of the pantry that could have naturally caused this to happen. This house was very haunted. If you want to see more clips from this specific ghost hunting exploration, then subscribe to my channel because Ryan will be making some more appearances across the next few videos. The following video was captured by a night guard at his local school, and he swore that his place of work was haunted. Every single day, he would come home from work and explain to his wife all sorts of instances that had happened, and whilst she listened and did not show any disbelief, she did not believe him one bit. She was actually in the process of contacting the doctors over the situation because she was worried that he was becoming somewhat of a psychopath. And this is when he had to truly prove that the stories that he was telling were not just a figment of his imagination. The next evening, he took his phone into the building with him and walked around the building whilst recording to see what he could capture. And fortunately, he managed to prove his wife wrong.
Bueno, miren, en esta área es donde supuestamente miran una niña o han visto una niña. Tanto maestros como otros trabajadores de aquí del lugar dicen que miran una niña. Uy, güey. ¿Escucharon eso? ¿Escucharon? Entonces... Uy, güey. I don't Vámonos. Vámonos.
Bangs could be heard around the building, and in a triumphant mood, he forwarded the footage to his missus who instantly bought into it. She contacted the doctors and told them that they could cancel the appointment and that he had video evidence that the spirits were real, but to her dismay, they did not buy into the evidence as much as she did. This meant that the couple had to work together to gather more evidence. His wife lended him a higher quality camera and told him to film all night this time to see if he could manage to gather any other evidence that could sway the doctors in their favor. And so he set out to work that night with a mission in mind. Prove to the world that he was not a psycho. Did he succeed? Well, you will have to watch.
Estoy solo, no hay nadie, no hay ningún carro, nomás está la mía. Si vieron, alguien pasó allá. ¿Escucharon? Oigan, miren, no sé si alcancen a ver ahí en la ventana. Ahí, que se ve algo, ¿sí ven? Ven. ¿Se alcanzan a ver la sombra?
He managed to gather a complete compilation of videos for the doctors, and there was more than enough evidence to suggest that his stories were real. From shadow apparitions to objects moving on their own command, it truly was terrifying stuff, and they would be foolish not to believe him now. The sad reality to this story, though, is that the doctors were foolish and went ahead with their procedure checkups. They did not find anything in the brain which really aggravated them, but the man has to come into the hospital every fortnight until he admits that everything was a lie, which both you and I know is obviously not the case. We hope people believe him soon. The Elmwood House experience is something that anybody can attend, and it is located in Stockton-on-Tees in England. The place is called the Elmwood Community Centre, and it was constructed in 1893 as a grand family residence, but was later renovated into a spooky and paranormal experience for all. In its later years as a community centre, the place became associated with ghostly phenomena, with several reports coming from the building, so the owners were forced to close it and relocate elsewhere. Paranormal lovers still visit the Elmwood house to this day, and that is exactly what the person who filmed the upcoming clip was up to.
Whoa, there's movement going on in here, mint. Somebody in this room? Looks like footsteps on the carpet, like carpets are crinkling. I'm gonna stop and restart immediately.
Strangely, he heard noises as if somebody else was in the room with him, and it was more than evident that nobody else really was. The noises sounded too real to be fake or edited, and given the history of this place, it is only right to assume that this truly was caused by a spirit. In this video, we have already looked into the work life of a night shift guard, and it is very spooky to say the least. The job of a night guard is terrifying because you are all alone in the dark, but things get even creepier when you throw poltergeists into the mix, and this is what happened to James, the person who experienced what happened in the next few videos. What happened was so frightening that it caused James to quit his job entirely and go back to university to start his career fresh and go down a route that did not involve the possibility of ghosts making an appearance. What was this scary? Well, watch the clip for yourself and find out.
What the f***? Hello? No.
He had a feeling that the place was haunted for a long time, but when the tap turned on without any force interacting with it, he knew for certain that his theory was true. Most people will brush this off as an issue with the water pipes, or something along those lines, but what they don't consider is that to turn the tap back off, James had to turn the handle to the side, meaning that something else must have turned it in the opposite direction. After this event, James ran to his vehicle and made his way home back to his family, which was a big relief given the danger of the situation that he was in beforehand. When everybody went to sleep, and he jumped into bed too, he opened his phone though, because he wanted to look over the footage from his night shift one last time, and he noticed another unsettling event. This one was frightening, and he knew he had heard something at the time, but just wanted to check over it in case he was going insane. Fortunately for him, he was not.
Hello? Stop f***ing about. Hello?
If you turned your volume all the way up towards the end of the clip, then you would have heard the faint reply of hello. Since he worked on the night shift by himself, this could not have been the voice of any human being unless there was a break-in, and to be 100% sure that there was not one, he even contacted the camera crew to investigate through the cameras. It was no surprise that they found nothing, but that wasn't something the guard had to worry about, because he was long gone. What isn't long gone, though, is your opportunity to have your paranormal footage reviewed and documented by me. All you have to do is email hauntedofficial@gmail.com a description of what happened and some backstory alongside the attached footage, and it is a guarantee that you will be included. Funerals are when you manage to capture people at their lowest points, and this is because these events are very depressing. Losing a loved one is mentally scarring for everybody, and hence why nobody is in a good mood at these events, but at least the majority are not haunted. The only thing that is worse than a funeral is a haunted one, and the attendees of the funeral that this clip came from would agree with this. Have a watch. The white balloon started to drift towards the wife of the man who died, and she almost sensed that it was her husband doing this. While the majority of the people at the funeral were given the creeps by this incident, she held the balloon close, knowing that it was likely her husband of 20 years, saying his final goodbyes. This would be why she broke down into even more tears. The following video took place very early in the morning at a convenience store that had absolutely no business being haunted. It was a super irrelevant store, and no form of spiritual events had ever been recorded there, making it the last place a gambler would put their money on being haunted. However, despite the odds being low, they were not at zero, and one day, while two members of staff were preparing to open the store for the day, they experienced this.
Nos encontramos aquí en mi trabajo. Al fondo se observa una cámara de refrigeración donde parte de la tarde se han estado abriendo y cerrando solitas las puertas. Hay momentos que se calma, pero de repente empiezan otra vez a abrirse y cerrarse. Me voy a mover para allá para ver de cerca a ver si qué pasa. Nos vamos acercando a la cámara. Jorgito es uno de mis compañeros de aquí de trabajo. ¿Qué pasó, hijo? ¿Qué se cayó? Vean. Vean, ahí ya empezaron a abrir también. Vean, observen. Híjole. Vamos a tratar de no acercarnos, Jorgito, porque... Vean cómo se están abriendo las puertas. Vamos a ver de aquel lado. Ahí se ve cómo se están abriendo y cerrando. Toda la tarde estaba pasando esto, e inclusive ya hay gente que se dio cuenta, clientes. Y híjole, la verdad sí es un poco temeroso. Ya le hablé a mi supervisor para que, vean, ya le hablé a mi supervisor para que viniera a ver esto que está pasando. No me cree, pero digo, quedó de venir, hasta ahorita no ha venido. Y no nos hemos atrevido a ir a la parte de atrás en la cámara porque pues nos da un poco de temor, ¿no? Porque pues esto es algo sobrenatural. Pero vamos, Jorgito, allá atrás a ver qué pasa. Vean. Anda. Vamos a ver qué pasa. Vamos a arriesgarnos a ir. Vamos a arriesgarnos porque a ver qué pasa. Esta es la parte de la entrada de la cámara. Vamos a ver qué pasa. O sea, ahora sí que. Ay, dijo, no sé si oyeron. Jorgito, ve a ver, hijo. Mira. ¿Sí? Veamos qué pasa.
Strangely, the refrigerator doors continued to open and close themselves whilst they were being filmed, and it was almost as if they had a mind of their own. The two members of staff were freaked out by this for obvious reasons, and immediately alerted their manager over text message. Unfortunately, their manager did not take this quote, excuse, and demanded that they continue working for the day or they would be fired from the job. Was the boss in the wrong? Let me know in the comments. Alonzo was a well-known ghost hunter within his community, and almost everybody came to him when they had a problem regarding the spiritual world. With his strong portfolio and muscular build, nobody could say no to him and his services. But one day, a mission got a little bit too difficult for his liking. It took place on a Sunday, and he was being paid extremely high money to work this day. It was immediately after entering the supposedly haunted vicinity that he caught this phenomenon on camera.
Victoriano, saludos. Carolina. ¡Ay, no madre! ¡Uy, qué fue eso! Perdón, amigos, grité como mujer. Grité como mujer. ¿Hay alguien ahí? Buenas noches. Grité como mujer, amigos. Buenas noches. ¿Quién eres? ¿Hay alguien? ¿Hay alguien ahí? Buenas noches. ¿Qué fue eso? Ay, madre. Uy. No mames, no hay nadie. ¿Hay alguien? ¿Hay alguien? No hay nadie aquí. Se me desenfocó.
It was very clear that some sort of spirit was behind the door, and anybody in their right minds would agree with me on that statement. This was the first telltale sign that what Alonzo was dealing with was in fact a real threat, and he should approach the rest of the task with caution. Subscribe to the channel, as this was only one clip from a long mission made by Alonzo, and his story will be further developed in our next video.